Right. So we continue, looking at the examination questions, just trying to help you understand how the questions are asked in this very course, strategic management. Okay. So the first question is a scenario question. And after being given a scenario, you are asked to describe and explain the strategy that is being followed by the person in the question in terms of explanation of competitive strategies, the competitive strategies. When you read this very question, it actually opens a new set of conversations that we should hold. Uh, Following the same question, I will now run you through the strategic options that are available. I will start with the competitive strategies, the market strategies, the growth strategies, and the decline strategies. So those are major strategies that are available. So you need to go through them one by one and you understand the strategies very well. Okay, this is very important. Let me now go through the answer. Okay. So to start with, there are actually four main strategic options available. We have those competitive strategies, we have the growth strategies, we have the product market strategies, and the decline strategies. So the question is very specific and will always be very specific in terms of the strategies that they want you to use, whether the market competitive, the growth, the product market strategies, or the decline strategies. So for you is to pay attention to the types of the strategic options available. So, and let's start going through. We will start with the competitive strategies. The major competitive strategies that we do have are as follow. Number one, we have what is known as cost leadership. The second one is differentiation, and the last one is focus. These are the three major strategic competitive strategies that are available towards cost leadership, differentiation, and focus. So if you are to explain on competitive strategies as the question is requiring you, they want you to comment on cost leadership, they want you to comment on differentiation, and they do want you to comment on focus as a strategy. What is involved under leadership? This is where you now have to pay attention. Cost leadership, this one is just a strategy whereby a firm will aim at competing on prices rather than on the advanced features or maybe high levels of customers. No. Okay, not on features, advanced features, not on high levels of customer. In other words, the cost leadership strategy is one which a company would use where they use low prices as the main competitive weapon that they have. So they focus on charging low prices, just the low prices alone, and then that is how they can compete in the environment. That's about that strategy. You see, under competitive strategies, you find that most of the companies that follow this strategy, they typically sell a standard and freeze product and, place a lot of emphasis on minimizing direct input and overhead costs. So that's where the major emphasis is on minimizing the costs, minimizing the overhead costs. So you see, cost leadership or requires economies of scale in production, and actually some close attention to efficiency and to operating costs. Yeah, this attention has to be paid, to efficiency, to operating costs. Although we also have other sources of cost advantage, such as maybe, let's say, preferential access to raw materials. Yeah, they do also help, but the emphasis I've said is placed on that. Economies of scale are basically the advantages that the firm would have or to enjoy just because they have grown, okay? Just because they have what? They have grown. Those are the advantages that the firm would enjoy. Now, you see, a low cost base will not in itself bring competitive advantage. Why? Because, customers, they must see that the product represents the value of their money. Because if they don't see that their product represents the value of their money, they are most likely not to buy the product. And so it becomes very important that as you reduce the prices, at the same time, you're focusing on reducing the cost, among others. Ensure, and again, I do repeat, ensure that the quality of the product that you are producing is not compromised. So it is very important to ensure that the quality is not compromised, because you cannot really lie to your customers. Customers always know what they do want. The second competitive strategy that we have is the differentiation. Now, what is there under differentiation? Now, a differentiation strategy is seen, for example, when a company offers a service that is distinct from its competitors, right? Very distinct from competitors. And you see that customers will value that. So it is sometimes unique beyond actually simply offering a low price that allows firms to charge a high price or retain customer loyalty. So this is very important. You give a top-notch, a very good quality of service, very distinct, from your competitors. Now, depending on, let's say, the industry a business is in, the forms of differentiation could actually vary, including the following. This would just be dependent on the industry in which this particular business is in. And to start with, you may have the following competitive differentiations. Number one, design. In terms of design, right? There could be an advantage where you can do the differentiation in terms of design of your product, in terms of reliability of your service, in terms of your technology. So you can differentiate yourself and make yourself distinct from your customers. You can also stress a distinctive product or a service image that can still be done. Depending on the industry, in other industries, you can still build a widely recognized brand. You can build a widely recognized brand. And actually, during this same period, others or in other industries, you may actually focus on durability and availability of spare parts, of the machines or the equipment that you're using. You can still differentiate yourself in terms of the images of sophistication and exclusivity, and the assets and the accessibility. All these are some of the areas in which you can actually differentiate yourself. The idea is that when you do this competitive strategy called differentiation, you distinguish yourself in terms of the way how you provide your services or your goods, such that you are super distinct from your competitors. The other competitive strategy that we have, the fourth one, is called focus. Yeah, it is called focus. Now, what about focus? What is it that we have under focus? A focus strategy, it involves targeting a narrow market segment, right? You can either do this by consumer groups or geography, their geographical locations. So in other words, what you do, this is when a company will compete by targeting very specific segments of the market. A company will have to, to target a very specific segment of a market under focus strategy. These are competitive strategies. Focus on a very specific market, and then you will do well. We have talked about the three, competitive strategies: cost leadership, talked about differentiation, and what? And focus. Those are competitive strategies. What about the other set of strategies? We call them the product market strategies. Now, when you are reading your question in or an exam question, pay attention to what the question is requiring you to provide, because these are several strategies I'm offering to you. Now, these that I want to offer to you now are called the product market strategies. The product market strategies. The question will be very clear. Under the product market strategies, we have the following strategies. Number one, innovation. Innovation is one of the market strategy that is used. Expansion, integration, and diversification. These are product market strategies. You can diversify, you can integrate, you can expand, you can innovate. Now, how do you use these strategies, and what is involved in all these product market strategies? Now we are away from competitive strategies. We are looking at the product market strategies. How is it done? Let's pay attention now and follow nicely. Let's start with innovation. With innovation, actually, it's a plan to grow market share or profits through product and service innovation. So you can innovate your service, or you can innovate your product, your goods that you're offering to the market. So do innovate. And when you do that, the market share or the profits will start growing. So you see that when you have your good or your service innovated, with this innovation strategy, you find that it is just basically about creating winning products or services, which actually means products and services that are in an attractive market, right? Target a profitable customer segment. They actually do address the right unmet needs, and they help customers get a job done better than any competing solution. This is very powerful. And only after a company produces a winning product, a company produces a winning service, should it consider what activities are needed to deliver what product and what service. So with this innovation strategy, I do repeat, it's just about creating a winning product or a winning service. So a product that are in an attractive market should be produced. You will target a profitable customer segment. You will address the right unmet needs, right unmet needs. You will address, or you help customers get a job done better than any competing solution. And only after a company produces a winning product or a service should it consider what activities are needed to deliver that product or that service. So this is what happens under innovation strategy. The other product market strategy that we consider is called expansion. Now we're looking at the market products, the product market strategies. An expansion strategy is by and actually large a type of growth strategy, which seeks to achieve faster growth. It seeks to achieve, to compete with others and achieve higher profits, grow the brand, capitalize on economies of scale, and have a greater impact or occupy a larger market share. It may entail acquiring more market share through doing the various reasons. I repeat, what strategy do you want to use? A product market strategy. If you're going for expansion, this one now your focus, you will focus on achieving faster growth. You want to grow fast. You want to compete with others. You want to achieve higher profits when you embark on expansion. You want to grow the brand very high, and you capitalize on economies of scale. You do want to have greater impact or occupy a larger market share. Now, the market share may be obtained using the following. You can do it in traditional competitive strategies. You can do this by entering new markets. You can do this by targeting new market segments. You can offer new products or new services. You can do expand and improve current operations. You can expand and improve current operations. You can offer new produce and service. You can target new market segments. You can even enter a new market. These are the different ways through which you can do or embark on an expansion strategy, which is actually a product market strategy. The third product market strategy that I bring to you is called integration. Now, with the integration, these strategies when you do integrate, it's when the businesses want to enhance their competitiveness. They want to increase their efficiency, or they want to increase their market share by expanding their influence into new areas. Okay, these areas can include supply, they can include distribution, and the areas can include competition. So you want to expand, you want to be very efficient, you want a larger market share. Yeah, so this is the integration strategy. You want to go into a new area. Now, two types of integration strategies, they do exist. The first one is called vertical integration, and the second one is called horizontal integration. What is it that is there under vertical integration? Under vertical integration, listen carefully. Under vertical integration, this actually comprises three strategies. These are called integration, forward integration. This is vertical integration by. It is made up of forward integration, it is made up of backward integration and balanced integration. So there is forward integration, there is backward integration, and what? Balanced integration. These are the integration methods that are there. They fall under vertical integration. Now, what is there under these? Vertical integration. Now, with vertical integration, this extends, it does extend a firm's competitive scope with the same industry. Okay, the competitive scope of the firm is actually extended, with the same industry. So what it involves is actually expanding the firm's range of activities backward into the sources of supply. They can do that. They can expand the firm's range of activities into the source of supply, or they can do that forward towards the end users of the final product. Now, where a company wishes to gain the advantage of both backward and forward strategies, that's towards the end users and towards the suppliers. Suppliers, that's backward, end users, that's forward. Then when they do both of them, they have what is known as a balanced integration. Now, with vertical integration strategies, they can aim at full integration. This is actually to say participating in all stages of the industry value chain. Or they can do partial integration. Now, when they do partial integration, this is when they build positions in selected stages of the industry total value chain. They can build positions in selected stages of the industry total value chain. Now, a firm can accomplish vertical integration by starting its own operations in other markets, in other industry activities chain, or by acquiring a company already performing the activities it wants to bring in-house. Then the horizontal strategy or horizontal integration is a long-term growth strategy by which one or more similar organizations are taken over. You take over one or more similar organization for reasons such as maybe the economy, the scales of operations benefits, or large market share. You take over those. And when you do such acquisitions, you provide access to the new market. Actually, on the other hand, you can get rid of competition on others. So this is the idea behind horizontal integration. Okay. Then the last strategy, the other strategy that you may use, which is a product market strategy, is called diversification, from the word diversify. Now, diversification strategies may be appropriate to organizations that cannot achieve their growth objectives in their current industry, using the current product and the current market. So if you see you are using the current product, the current market, you can't achieve, then the reasons for an organization to diversify can actually be valid. And these would include, number one, you want to diversify because the market of current businesses are approaching the saturation or declining phase of the product life cycle. You can do diversify. Or you can diversify if the risk can be distributed more even. Diversification can come maybe because of the current businesses are generating excess cash. Okay, if current businesses are generating excess cash, that can be invested more profitably elsewhere. So you can do the diversification. Now, we encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to this channel, and make sure you watch part 2 of these strategic options. Part 2 will start from the growth strategies. We have talked about the competitive strategies and the market product, the product market strategies. So now we will start with the growth strategies. Okay, make sure you do part 2 of the strategic options. I wish you well.